All right, what's up, everybody? What is going on? We are live here from the After Review Studios. I am your host, Peter, and we have a awesome guest joining us today. We got my man Mike from Mike Sports Vibes, and we're gonna be hopping in, doing a little bit of Minnesota Vikings mock draft. You know, boys, gals, I love my Vikings, so we're gonna be Vikings focused a little bit tonight. My man Mike is a fellow Vikings fan, so I gotta give him some love. Mike, why don't you introduce yourself to the channel, let the people know, and tell us a little bit about your content.
All right. Mike Sports Vibes. Man, love the Vikings. Diehard Viking fan for over 20 years. But I'm a hybrid sports fan. I'm from Pennsylvania. I'm a Sixer fan. I'm a Phillies fan, a Flyers fan, and a Union fan. I think that's the soccer team, Union. But when it comes to football, diehard Viking fan. The reason why I'm a Viking fan from Pennsylvania, because I should be a Steeler fan or Eagle fan, but it was destiny that I seen the greatest wide receiver of all time, and his name is Randy Moss. When I seen him play for the first time, I said, "Who is this player?" And it was against. It's funny because it was against the Eagles in a wild card game. Oh, and we lost that game too. I forgot what game. I don't know how many years ago it was, but Randy Moss, it was like he was gliding on the court. He was on the field. Like he's running so, it looks like he's running slow somewhat, but he's burning everybody. He puts his arm up and he catches it in double coverage. And I said, I'm a Viking fan. After that game, even though we lost, I'm a Viking fan for life. And Randy Moss, to me, is the best wide receiver of all time. No disrespect to Jerry Rice, Larry Fitzgerald, Terrell Owens, the list goes on. But for me, that bull, Randy Moss, made me a Viking fan, and I'm a proud Viking fan. Even though we ain't do nothing, we ain't win a Super Bowl, so it's not like me hopping on a bandwagon like the Steelers. They got 6 Super Bowls. You know what I'm saying? I'm not hopping on a bandwagon. I'm proud to be a Viking fan because I feel like our first Super Bowl that we get is going to mean more to all these teams. I ain't trying to hate. I ain't hating on these other franchises. But when we get our first Super Bowl, I think it's just going to mean so much more than a lot of these other teams. You know what I mean? Just my honest opinion. Even more than when the Eagles got their first
Yeah, I
Super
was
Bowl.
gonna say that's probably
You know
the
what I mean?
most comparable one right there. But nobody, and I mean nobody, has had heartbreak like the Vikings. And when it comes to being good, they're like the best worst team in football. They're top 5 in win percentage in the Super Bowl era. I think they might be sixth now, but they're the only team in the not top 10 to not have multiple Super Bowls, let alone any Super Bowls, and no only team in the top half of the league in winning percentage to not win a Super Bowl. So it's a tough ride, heartbreak on
Yeah.
heartbreak, but
And
this is
then
it's coming up. Like we've had a great off season. Here's maybe the first big question for you.
right.
JJ McCarthy, big dog. Where are we on the JJ McCarthy era?
I'm so excited about JJ McCarthy. I'm so ecstatic. I'm just kind of surprised that the drama around JJ McCarthy was what it like how it got so put out there on social media. Like big time people are talking about it. First Take, Shannon Sharp, Steven, everybody, the big timers are talking about Aaron Rodgers potentially going to the Vikings. And I was just like really surprised because I'm like, why would the Vikings now, and I mean this in no disrespect. I know Aaron Rodgers is an all-time great quarterback, and I'm not saying that he's cooked completely, but the man is 41 years old. We drafted J.J. McCarthy top 10 in the 2024 NFL draft, and I believe, if I'm correct me if I'm wrong, he's the highest pick for a quarterback in Minnesota Viking history. I'm not 100% sure, but if that's the fact, if it's true, why would you sign a quarterback and waste another year of JJ McCarthy's rookie deal? And honestly, in 2024, this is my honest opinion. Sam Darnold, we didn't know Sam Darnold was going to do what he's going that he had an outstanding season. I'm not taking nothing away from Sam Darnold, but I truly feel like when I feel like JJ McCarthy would have beat Sam Darnold out for that starting job. I feel like JJ McCarthy would have been the starting quarterback last season. Just my honest opinion. I could be wrong because and listen, like people that's so scared to play, it's not me rushing the process, rushing JJ McCarthy to start. It's me think I'm just confident in JJ McCarthy's ability, and we can't always say, "Oh, rookies, if you rush him, he's gonna take a couple steps back." We've seen Jaden Daniels get to the NFC Conference Championship game against the Eagles. The Eagles, that are the Super Bowl champions, was the only team that beat Jaden Daniels in his rookie season. So, and Bo Nix got to the playoffs in his rookie season. Countless rookies. We don't have to copy off of the Packers when the Packers had Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers had to sit
everybody for 3
We don't have to
years,
do that. If we believe in our quarterback, let him go play. And I hope the Vikings don't make the mistake and they play JJ McCarthy, because JJ McCarthy to me has that it factor. He won in high school. He won in college. And I know people are going to say, well, Michigan had a great defense. I agree with that. They had a great running game. They had a great offensive line. But when they needed him to make plays, he made the plays. He was clutch. You know what I mean? So
I tell everybody this, like they question me. I get bullied about my JJ McCarthy take. Watch JJ McCarthy go down the field in the Rose Bowl against Nick Saban's defense to go tie that game up to send it when they had to have it. He got it. He made every big throw, converted on 4th down. The pressure never gets to him. And I agree. I think, I don't know if he would have started the season. It would have been close. The injury, obviously. I get the Aaron Rodgers talk. The injury set him back. If he practiced all last year, if he had the true Mahomes season, there would have been no debate. I don't think. But that Jaguars game with Sam Darnold, I think that would have been the McCarthy move, where he threw the 4 picks. They escaped with the field goal win. I think the next week would have been the McCarthy move for them. So, okay, I like it. You're in on the McCarthy train. That's a point for Mike right there.
Let
McCarthy, me catch up with the chat real quick. Everyone, what's up? Green, Dirt, Bub. Oh, man, Bucks fans in the house. Derpy saying you should have been a Steelers fan.
I know, everybody's...
Better than the Eagles. I'd give you that. Zins, what's up? Aaron Rodgers' ass cheeks. See, Rodgers was really good in garbage time in the second half of the season, guys.
He was.
And Sam Darnold only graded out to the 16th to 14th best quarterback last year. So if JJ McCarthy can give us 15, just right in the middle, 16, same production, baby. With a much better team coming into next year. I think Zay, what's up? He thinks the Vikings will trade the pick. All right. Do we want to touch a little bit on the off-season stuff? Like I said, we've massively upgraded this roster. I think in a big way. Definitely.
Man, where to even start? I'm just looking at my little list of some of the signings. Where do we start? Do we start with the offensive line? I'm gonna keep it real as a diehard Viking fan. Seeing Bradbury at the center position, Bradbury, seeing him getting pushed back, thrown on the ground, tossed to the side. I'm like, yo, I'm so glad we upgraded and got our guy Ryan Kelly. And then let's talk about the guard, Will Fries. I'm so happy we got Will Fries, because I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry. I'm so glad that we're not going to see Ed Ingram. He got traded for a 6th-round pick. Dalton Risner, I'm not sure if we're going to re-sign him. I'm not really sure. I'm not sure who's going to play the other side, but I'm just happy we got the center and one of the guard positions. It's amazing. I love it. And I think that we needed to have that for our rookie quarterback, because if we had our rookie quarterback behind that offensive line, I'm talking about the interior offensive line. Our tackles, Christian Darrisaw and Brian O'Neill, they're Pro Bowlers. And I'm gonna be confident. I'm gonna be optimistic with Christian Darrisaw that he's gonna come back from the injury. He's gonna be 100% healthy. But we do got that. We did sign. What's his name? What's the ball? Grant School, swing offensive tackle.
Oh, the swing tackle from the Ravens.
I believe, but
he's a swing tackle. Yeah, backup swing tackle.
So just in case he ain't ready, we got him. But another move that I really love is getting. I'm not sure if he's going. I'm hoping he's healthy. What's his name? Javon Hargrave. Is that
Javon Hargrave from the
Hargrave? I think, and I know he only played 3 games. I think he teared his tricep or some muscle, and he was out for the season. But prior to that, I think in 2023 he was a Pro Bowler. If we get that guy, I think we got something special on his defensive line, man. I really do. And then who's the other guy? Jonathan Allen. Mm-hmm. If he does his thing, our defensive line is on point, man. I love it. And if we imagine this. Imagine Brian Flores not having to blitz all the dang on time to get to the quarterback, and we could just have our defensive backs, our safeties, our cornerbacks just sit back, our linebackers. We don't got to blitz, and we can get interceptions. And we don't that's the thing about winning Super Bowls, because the Eagles just gave us the blueprint. Their
Yeah.
defensive line was so amazing. They
Everyone's
didn't have to blitz
yeah.
that much.
And we were horrible. We were the worst. We were one of the best pass rushing teams in football, but it was pressure under the blitz. We were the worst 4-man pressure team in football, and it got really exposed against Detroit and LA. We couldn't get pressure with 4. We had to blitz. We played 2 quarterbacks who were very good against the blitz. Even though Goff was pretty bad in that Lions game, I think everyone forgets how bad. Like, the defense was trying to carry us to a division title in that bad boy. But the Rams game was really where everything got amplified on top of it. Yeah, and it would be nice if we get some interior pressure. Interior pressure is king. We didn't overpay for anybody. And here's a nice one. Jonathan Allen, I mean, he was out like half the season with a torn pec, came back for that Lions Commanders playoff game, and absolutely feasted on the Lions. Was living in the backfield on top of Jared Goff. That's what I think really that gets me excited. Like, they already downgraded on the Lions offensive line with the departure of some guys, and we have a guy that feasted against them. So whatever that blocking scheme is, I'm loving it. I would like another pass rusher maybe off the edge, but the interior is the king, offensive and defensive, and we definitely attacked that there. Another interesting pickup, Niners fan Jeff here. What do you think about the Mason trade?
All right, so I don't know if this is true. Correct me if I'm wrong, but the 6th-round pick that we traded to
Ingram, the Ingram pick. The Ingram pick was...
Is that the 6th-round pick that we traded to them?
Yes. That was the swap that we swapped for Mason, basically. Right.
Yeah. So pretty much Jordan Mason for Ed Ingram. So Jordan Mason is absolutely a dog. He's a monster. He's a beast. I love that when there's contact, he's breaking tackles. He has elusiveness. I like him. I like him a lot. And then the combination of Aaron Jones, because we know Aaron Jones. I love Aaron Jones a lot, but we know he gets hurt. You know what I mean? He
gets hurt in the middle of game. He gets hurt in the middle of games, and it really just threw the flow off of the offense a lot. Right. And that's why I think they made the Cam Akers move. And Jordan Mason's probably a better fit than Cam Akers is for the offense.
Right. Matter of fact, I think that's a fact, bro. He's a weight, in my opinion. And I'm not hating on Cam Akers because Cam Akers was pretty darn good.
Did a great job for what we needed. Yeah, what we needed from Cam Akers.
Chandler didn't get no playing time. Yeah. Like, Ty Chandler wasn't that good, but I think, and that's another key. Like, they know what type. Look, I'm not saying that JJ McCarthy can't put the team on his back, but you know what he was with Michigan. That play action. You know what I mean? That risk of we can run it down your throat. You can't just, you know what I mean? You got to be in the box a little bit too. Your linebackers, your safeties. So we can do either way. You know what I mean? And I like that they're like, yo, we're going to address the offensive line. And this is the key for me because the offensive line, right, on 4th and 1, last season, did you have any confidence that we was going to get a first down?
No, I thought we were going to throw the ball every time. We're going to throw a pass that's going to be incomplete.
Now we can run the ball. On 4th and 1 or 4th and 2 or 4th and goal, we won at the 1-yard line. We can literally that tush. They didn't take away the tush push, right?
Not yet. We're working on it. But if they keep it, let's actually put God forbid, put CJ Ham in a quarterback, man. Just run the Ham train out there. Do something.
But now we have interior offensive linemen that can get more push. No disrespect to Bradbury, but he couldn't get no push. Ed Ingram, that's another.
Like it was always a nightmare anytime we played a 3-4 defense. Like anybody with a monster nose tackle, and it was like Bradbury 1-on-1 against a monster nose tackle. We were cooked. I don't love they paid Mason. I don't love paying backup running backs because I'm starting to think that they might still draft a back or definitely sign an undrafted free agent back minimum to work with it because. Who knows what Aaron Jones is, I think it's a 2-year deal, but it's really a 1-year. Yeah. Like you can get out of it if he just ages really fast and they roll with Mason. And now as Mason wore down, he looked kind of bad. First of all, a little nervous because everybody could run. I could probably run for, $150 behind that 49ers run scheme, I guess. I don't know. It feels like anybody can run there. But if he's splitting, if we truly go split carries with Mason and Jones, and Mason is a very good pass protector, which is going to help out a ton because that's what we're worried about. KOC, he says he wants to run the ball, but deep down in his heart, he wants to throw the ball 50 times a game, 3 to 7 yards every time. Even though we don't run any slant patterns for some reason, but
I don't know why. That's a big question mark. Or running back screen. What happened to the running back screen? Remember when we had Dalvin Cook running back screen? He's off. He's loose. Touchdown. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I do think the O-line was the concern with they're so useless and they were worried about them, but I like it. Go back to a little power inside zone game. We're never worried about our tackles, pass protecting or run block. Both great run blockers out there. Let's see, Dakota, Mike, my guy. Let's get real. The Vikings have made a history of choking in the big time. All Vikings fans should rock the "Just One Before I Die" shirt. I have a someday shirt, but yeah, that sounds about right. It's not even that they choke. Sometimes that they choke. They also have insane, unfathomable luck. I mean, we're not going to talk about 09 and being cheated against multiple times in that game. Fourth down. Nobody talks about the overtime where Drew Brees fumbled on fourth down and they still gave him the first down, even though he was clearly short. We got to change overtime rules for us. 98
should have won a Super Bowl that year.
Yeah, 09 was probably the best team. Yeah. If you want to say we choked in 17, like we had no business even being in the NFC Championship game with Case Keenum. So
yeah, that was the best chance. Honestly, was that year with Brett Favre. And, with the William Wall, Winfield, Adrian Peterson, Sidney Rice,
rookie Percy Harvin, right? Rookie Percy Harvin. They were just
Bernard Berrien.
Bernard Berrien was Bernard Berrien, Sidney Rice, and Percy Harvin with Brett Favre at quarterback.
I got Adrian Peterson's jersey, but if Adrian Peterson would have
he fumbled going into the end zone, fumbled going into the end zone to go up. I think we were going up 17 at halftime, and he fumbled going in.
And you know what's crazy, right? Adrian Peterson is my favorite running back of all time, right? And then my second favorite is LaDainian Tomlinson. But let me just say this. Like, with Adrian Peterson in that specific game, it would be like he'll break 3 tackles. Like, he'll break 3 tackles easily. And then it'll be the softest little tackle, and he'll fumble. And I'm like, what the heck? What are we doing here? What happened?
It's always...
He did it numerous times.
He did the same thing in that Blair Walsh playoff game, too. He fumbled late in that game to get Seattle their touchdown to take the lead. Tarkington days, they probably should have won one of those 4, but we didn't have the privilege to see those games, so we don't even know. We don't even know the taste of winning the NFC. We have the NFC drought. Jeffrey, that's what Kevin does, though. He makes the most average quarterback look good. That's good, because if we have a slightly above average quarterback in J.J. McCarthy, he's going to look amazing. That's all you need. That's a good skill to have, guys. That's a good skill to have.
And I had to get this off my chest real quick, right? I don't know if you've seen the rankings. I forgot which website it was. The Vikings were ranked, what was they, 10th?
Yeah, bottom of the NFC. Bad in the NFC.
Right? And this is what I have to say. And they got the Seahawks above us. Listen, I'm not hating on Sammy D. I like Sam Darnold. He used to be our quarterback. I got a lot of respect for him. But before he came to the Vikings, correct me if I'm wrong, this man was considered a bust.
Mm-hmm.
A bust. A straight up bust. Nobody really wanted him. He didn't do good with the Jets. He couldn't get on the field with the 49ers. I don't know what other teams he's been on, but he was good with the Vikings because KLC is just a very good head coach. He has a good mind when it comes to he used to be a quarterback, so that helps. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So he knows how quarterbacks think, and he knows what to do with quarterbacks. He made Kirk Cousins look a little bit better. He made Joshua Dobbs look good for a couple of games.
He won
Nick
2
Mullins
games.
look good.
If you look at KOC's record with Kirk Cousins, Sam Darnold, Nick Mullins, and Josh Dobbs as his starting quarterback, and Jaron, you want to throw Jaron Hall in there? Throw Jaron Hall in there.
Oh, yeah.
Their career record is well below 500, and they are like 6 games above 500 with those guys. Like winning record with these guys that are just awful, just career backups, career bad. Now, Sam Darnold did have a little sprinkle in Carolina. He did beat out Baker for that job.
Okay.
And when he finished, Shanahan groomed. They got to give Shanahan credit for grooming Darnold. Maybe a little bit, did a little bit, but it is a thing though. Like if these great quarterback, like Shanahan identified Darnold, like I want him as my backup.
Right.
KOC said, I want, McVay with Baker. It's all the kind of the same thing. These coaches kind of feel guys that are maybe there's a lot of meat left on the bone with them. My buddy works for the Seahawks, and they're feeling really good in Seattle. Now, the offense is going to drive them. They're going to drive them insane. They think the defense is going to be the best defense in football. That's where they are at. They think Mike McDonald's cooking up a beast out there, and they're just gonna like, and who's it's their play caller, Turner,
Okay.
or little Turner over there, or no, who was it? It's one of the former Vikings play callers. So it's just gonna be like a Viking. It's gonna be a Mike Zimmer Viking team. Like play defense, run the ball, throw 5-yard passes, punt, don't turn it over. And Sam Darnold can probably do that. Like,
yeah, just don't mess up. You know
yeah,
what I mean?
don't
mess it up.
Don't mess up. Eat the sack. We'll run the ball, punt. Jackson Smith and Jigba's pretty good, and all that. Post generational, yeah. Sam Darnold was a elite generational talent coming into the league, but
that's what they said.
That's what. Hey man, it's the Jets. Maybe it's just it could just be the Jets.
And look, I want to say I'm not trying to hate on Sam Darnold. Like I feel like a lot of these quarterbacks that are considered bust or any position group, it could be running back, whatever. It depends. It's not just getting drafted to like if you say you got the first overall pick, right? It doesn't mean it's guaranteed that guy's going to be good. It's so many factors when it comes to coaching, developing. What team do you have around your quarterback? Like if Sam Darnold was on the Vikings, I think he would have had a better career, like in my opinion, than with the Jets. I'm just keeping it real. And for him to come to the Vikings, and nobody believed in him, and that was a great signing by Crazy. Crazy be cooking. Crazy be cooking. Because that was underrated. I did not think Sam Darnold was going to get us 14, and even though our defense was good under Brian Flores, but Sam Darnold had a Justin Jefferson to throw it to, a Jordan Addison to throw it to, a TJ Hockenson. He had an up and down season coming off that injury. And then you got Aaron Jones, and you got that great defense behind you. But it's just like, I don't know, man. It just depends. So many factors on how or why quarterbacks are players are not successful.
Yeah. It's Clint. Thank you. It's Clint Kubiak, Gary Kubiak's son for the Seahawks call the plays. We've seen this before. That was fun time. Bum Titans fan, what's up? Yes, Cam Ward time. Oh, our resident Titans fan on the channel is ready. He's ready. He's won it over. But speaking of Cam Ward, I think it's time. Let's hop into this mock draft. We're probably gonna run 2 mocks tonight for the Vikings. One where we play it straight. Another, maybe we get a little spicy trade out of that first round. That's probably the biggest contention with us. But we're probably just going to comment through. I'm going to run it on slow speed. Tennessee on the clock. I think we all know Cam Ward's going to be the pick here. Cam Ward, do you think Cam Ward's a good pick at number 1 for Tennessee?
I think Tennessee has no choice to go that route because Will Levis is still on the team, right?
Yeah, but he's done. He's not.
You know what I mean? It's like they don't have any choice. They got to get their friend. The most important position is the quarterback, and you got to get that quarterback position taken care of. And if he's the best quarterback available in this draft, go for him. You know what I mean? Got to do what you got to do. Either him or Sanders. You know what I mean?
And I'm not a Sanders guy there. There's
not Sanders. Right.
No, Travis Hunter to Cleveland. I don't mind that. There's Sanders to the Giants, but there is a little. Maybe the rumor is starting to get a little hot that the Giants are gonna pass on Sanders, and we're gonna see Hunter and Carter with these first.
Carter.
Yeah, one of these two with the first. We're gonna see both those guys in the first 3 picks, and Sanders could be in a little bit of a free fall out of the first round, maybe like the Saints at 9 or Pittsburgh. I know you talked about that on your mock. Like Pittsburgh could move up to go get him.
Pittsburgh should get Sanders. I really do.
They got to figure out something there, but Carter's the guy that everybody loves from a talent standpoint. Now the injury is maybe spooking some teams because the foot and the shoulder are an issue for them, but we'll see how it plays out.
Real quick, before we keep going, I have a question. So for the Vikings, what is the biggest need in your opinion? Are you going best player available, or are you going for need? And what do you think the biggest need for the Vikings?
Well, since we pretty much addressed all our needs in free agency, which is kudos to Kwesi and the boys. We planned for this. We got it. I go a hybrid of best available / need. Like, I want to look defensive line. I wouldn't mind looking secondary in the first round, but we could get pinched and put into a spot where it's like an edge rusher falls, the tackles maybe fall. Ooh. We don't need a tackle. Do we maybe, trade. I would see a trade back there. Like if Simmons or Banks is on the board, like trading back with Buffalo or Kansas City or somebody trying to move up to get a tackle and we can slide back to the end of the first round. Because can I pull up the big board here? Let me pull up the big board. If we go into the big board and look at like the interior defenders, like Walter Nolan. After that, there's like the stack of like Harmon and Alexander, maybe TJ Sanders out of there at the back end of the first round, which would be a nice spot for us if we can't get a guy like Nolan or Grant. Like I love Kenneth Grant out of Michigan. If that would be the dream. That would be the dream if Kenneth Grant. I wouldn't mind like if the safeties fall. Like, if like a Starks is on the board from Georgia, we could really use a coverage guy. Imawari's kind of flying up there after his combine, but I don't know if we need that kind of player. He's kind of good.
What about CB? Anybody that falls that you would be like, oh, I can't pass up? I like Jahdae Barron from Texas. So.
I'm not a big Jahdae Barron guy over here. No, he's a man. Like, he plays a lot of straight man-to-man. He had a lot of help over the top. I like Makuba, the safety, who was kind of his running mate this year. I mean, if Will Johnson's on the board, like, take Will Johnson. He's a little slow, but he's an elite zone corner, and we play a ton of zone. We play so much zone, and he's really smart, which Flores is going to love. He's going to cheat. He's going to have big plays. He's going to get pick sixes, which I think Flores will kind of like. Maybe he'll hate a little bit, for cheating a little bit, because he does. Flores is like, do not make a mistake on our defense. Kind of like, just everybody do their job and it'll work itself out. But if he's a good coverage guy, because we were so bad in the we've been so bad in the secondary for a while now.
For a long time. We haven't had a shutdown corner since Xavier Rhodes, I think.
Yeah.
I think that was
Rhodes closed.
Time. Yeah, I think that's the last time. So
and like Mekhi Blackman showed a good amount in his rookie year. It sucked. He went down on the first day of practice last year. Obviously, Kyrie Jackson dying kind of screwed things up. We thought we kind of had like, okay, we can patch in some vet corners with Griffin. Maybe they still make the Gilmore move. Byron Murphy. I'm not a huge Byron Murphy guy, but it is what it is at this point. He's more of a nickel, I think.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah.
He just wants to make, like, he'll get his interceptions, but he doesn't cover anybody for the love of God.
He gives up a lot. What was it? Oh, who was the guy? What was the wide receiver? He's a free agent still. He was on the Chargers and he was on the Bears. Keenan Allen,
yeah.
Keenan Allen had like 200 and something yards on Murphy, and I'm just like, and Murphy was talking trash. I'm like, Murphy, he made one play and was talking trash. I said, Murphy, this man got like 200 and something receiving yards on you. And you sitting there talking trash like you shut him down or something. You ain't shut that man down, Murphy. Like, what are you doing?
But
the bear.
Yeah, I mean, he was a little expensive, but we'll live with it. We had the money. Yeah. It's fine. He knows the defense. Guys like him on the team, and we need to keep a little bit of the locker room mojo after losing Cam Bynum, which I thought was a good move, letting him walk away. Another guy who's production maybe wasn't where it needed to be for us. Emu, Vikings shouldn't just donate their picks to the Ravens, to be honest. True. We basically gave them your boy, whatchamacallit? Oh God, I'm drawing a blank on his name. The safety from Notre Dame. Kyle Hamilton. There we go. We gave the Ravens Kyle Hamilton for free.
Oh my gosh.
Any thoughts on Buzz Williams leaving? Yeah, thanks, Emo. I'm miserable. We don't have a basketball coach. I'm an A&M guy, so life's awful over here in college. What you said about the Vikings sending Justin Jefferson to the Giants to play with Russell Wilson. Yeah, right. Yeah, right. Come on, guys. 18 is not going anywhere. That's the foundational piece of this football team. Do you know how hard it is to get a non-diva wide receiver? We have the best receiver in football, and he's not a diva at all. It's amazing. Life is so, I mean, I see these other receivers, and I'm like, I'm so happy. The contract thing was never a thing. It was a normal contract. Never sat out, never said anything. Didn't unfollow us on Instagram. Never complains. Doesn't get into trouble. The guy, I mean, I think his biggest controversy was like he was riding the ATVs like last weekend without a helmet. Like, I can live with that being his controversy.
Right. Man, yeah, we're not doing that.
Vikings should take Will Johnson if he's there. I agree. Let Daniel Jones cook. Oh man, Daniel Jones could have been the guy here. Oh, now they're shitting on the Herschel Walker trade. Come on, guys. Hey, that's not even close to the worst trade in football anymore. Deshaun Watson exists.
Yeah, that was bad. That was bad.
As a Raiders fan, Green, as a Raiders fan, don't mention diva wide receivers, please. Yeah, maybe Vegas wasn't the best choice of venue for a football team.
Yeah.
Let's hop back into the mock here. Let's see what the
Right.
Pats do. Ashton Genty would be crazy to the Patriots at 4. Will Campbell, okay. Let's see the Raiders. Membu, oh my God, this draft is crazy. Carter falls to 7. The Jets may have won the lottery.
Yeah.
But there's your boy Jahdae Barron, Mason Graham.
I'm happy that the running backs are back, man. Saquon Barkley.
Running backs are back, and it's by far the Dalvin Cook. This is the best running back class since that Cook was at 16, 17, right. That Dalvin Cook draft. Yeah, this is a stack class, and that's why I wasn't super ecstatic about the Mason trade at first, really, because it's like, oh my God. Now I know we don't have any picks. Like, we can get a starting running back in the 5th round in this draft.
We honestly could. We could. There's going to be a lot of running backs going to be on the board.
I can easily name 7 running backs that are going to start next year, and that's going to be fun if you play fantasy football, boys. That's going to be the fun, figuring out which one of those guys is your 1,200-yard rusher and 10 touchdown guy in fantasy that you draft in the last 2 rounds with anybody. All right, Jahad Campbell to the Bears. I would love if the Bears went defense. Go defense, Chicago. Don't bolster up the offensive line anymore.
Cowboy.
Tyler, there's a Jerry pick right there. There goes Will Johnson.
Will Johnson, 14.
Rip. Jalen Walker, I like him a lot. Georgia, Mike Green. That's exactly who I had the Cardinals mock too. Oh, my boy Shamar Stewart. Oh, rip Kenneth Grant. Sad day. It's looking good though.
To the Seahawks, man. Look, I'm not hating on Sam Darnold, but I don't want him to.
No, you don't want him. Sam don't need to succeed. All right. We're on the clock, and Green Bay kind of just sniped us right there with Malachi Starks.
Oh, my gosh, man.
In front of us, and we're in a bad situation here if we look at this board. There's absolutely nothing on this board that screams me
that you want to pick right there. I could trade back because I'm going to keep it real. Can you scroll down a little bit?
Yeah.
A little bit real quick. I think an underrated pickup would be a tight end, Loveland, but I don't want to draft him. I want to trade down. If he's available, so be it. And then Gray's what's his name?
Gray Zabel. Yep.
Zabel. I wouldn't mind getting him. And Amarion Hampton. Oh my gosh. Bro.
That was the pick if we don't trade for Mason, and it's just like we have Aaron Jones, we've signed all these guys. Like, I was like, Amarion Hampton's going to be the pick. Yes. I don't love taking a running back in the first round, but if it's Amarion Hampton at 24, there's a massive upside to him, because a lot of people think he could be better than Genty. Yeah, a lot of people think he could be better than Genty, and I
like Caleb too.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I'm not as high on Caleb Johnson as other people are, but I'm also not as high on the Ohio State guys. Like, Travion Henderson's nice. He's got a lot. Yeah. He's got a lot of miles. Everyone loves Judkins, but he's a lunatic. I hear like Quinshon Judkins is a crazy person. Like, he's like they called the Ohio State backfield was like literally like the preacher in Travion Henderson, and then like the straight gangster in Quinshon Judkins. It was crazy, the crazy running back room in Ohio State. Where was I? I like
this trade, bro.
You want to trade this? Not a bad spot here. 31 with Kansas City. That's not terrible.
What can we get back? That's the question. If we want to trade, if we going to drop back a few spots like that, we got to get.
I don't know if we can get 66. Say 45% chance. I would say there's no way you're getting like. In the trade machine, you could get 66. We could definitely get 95. And we can probably get 133. Yeah, so we get
133 or 4th.
We get a 3rd and a 4th.
I'll do that
to move back 7 spots in the first round. So you still also have the 5th-year option, which is big time. I like it. We're running it. We're going trade straight up out the gate, guys.
Let's do it.
Trade accepted.
Let's freaking go.
So we backed out. Could be a long draft night for the Vikings. There's the Chiefs to go get their tackle. That makes a ton of sense. Tyler Booker to the Texans. I don't hate that. Ooh, there's Loveland. The Ravens taking Amarion Hampton. Wait, what? I love it.
Why?
I love it, Baltimore. I love it.
What up? That's a crazy combination.
Derrick Henry is older man.
Gosh.
He's an older man. We're gonna go with
That's
Mario.
smart. That's actually really smart though. If they do that, that's pretty smart. Because
Now-
if I mean, I don't know how many more years Derrick Henry, and even though Derrick Henry, debatably, some people put him as number 1 running back. I think it's Saquon, but
He's
Derrick
in
Henry
the
had an
he's in the
outstanding season.
top 5, no question.
Yeah.
Still 1,900 yards, but he did wear down a little bit down the stretch, so I do get that. But Ravens fans will tell you we need a pass rusher. For the love of God, we need to get after the quarterback because they were awful at getting after the quarterback last year. But love that. Don't love Kelvin Banks to the Lions. Do not need them to get better on the offensive line.
Yeah, we don't need that.
We don't need that. What is Washington going to do here? Here's Grace Abel. Tough spot for us. Nick Scorton. So Luther Burden's still on the board. Does anybody? Cleveland wants to go. We can get Greedy and go back 2 spots. I could see us going back 2 spots here. But
we could if you want. What's going on with James Pierce?
Yeah, James Pierce
something happened.
Sliding. Him and Luther Burden just sliding right now. Did a tape get leaked? Was somebody?
Something must have happened.
Somebody had a gas mask like Laramie Tunsil over here. I don't know. It could be the mock. The problem is his stats. So James Pierce is a physical freak guy, 6'5", 243. Line him up on the outside. He will make your life a living hell. Whooped up on great SEC tackles out there. They didn't play LSU, so he didn't go up against Will Campbell, but good games against Bama, good games against Florida, great game against Kentucky. Not a great game against Georgia, and Georgia had some of the better lines, but a pretty good game against Ohio State. We know their offensive line, not what it needed to be, but his production was not great last year. Only 8 sacks, 4 hits, 43 hurries, and a ball batted. And I think the biggest problem is, still great pass rush win rate. Does he fit our defense? Like, we do need a defensive end, but does he fit the 3-4 hybrid style is my concern. He feels more like a true 4-3 end for my pick. I don't love Harmon and Darius Alexander. Don't love them. Like 6'5", 310. Yeah. That's a wide load. Darius Alexander, 6'4". Both had solid combines. We could get real spicy and go Luther Burden.
Luther Burden. What's the deal with him? Like, why is he dropping so much? Is there something that happened with him, or is it just the way the board?
So little bored, but also he's not a Monday through Saturday or Monday through Friday guy in college. He is I show up on Saturdays, I make plays, big explosive guy, not a super hard worker. It's a lot of the nitty gritty stuff that you kind of need to be successful in the league. And plus he's really short. He's 5'9". 5'11" is a generous listing right here. He's 5'10", 5'9".
I'm thinking because that could be an underrated move, because if you think about it, it's just I like Speedy Naylor. I really do.
Yeah,
but I don't think he's good enough to be the 3rd wide receiver on this. And then you got to think about Jordan Addison. You're not probably going to give him the contract. You might end up trading him, maybe. That's a possibility.
Jordan Addison is one driving incident away again from being out of this team real quick. As good as he is.
I think I might go Luther. I think that's being proactive. He could be our 3rd wide receiver, or he could potentially be our 2nd wide receiver. Or I like number 1.
You know what? Let's get spicy here. We're here to be spicy.
Or we go linebacker.
Demetrius Knight. I do like Demetrius Knight, but he's also kind of fallen a little bit. I think they did sign Eric Wilson back. They like special teams linebacker hybrid guys.
I think between Luther and who was the other guy that you would pick?
I would go Pierce or Harmon. I don't depend. That would probably have to go on what Flo says. I would trust Flo's move right there on what he thinks if it's going to fit in his defense. Because we need we need pass rush, we need interior D line, just depth. We're gonna try and play 10 guys on the D line every game and rotate, which I don't hate, but it's a very deep defensive line draft, so we could end up easily getting a nice D line minute 95 or 97 there. So if we want to go spicy, I think we go Luther Bird. We just go Luther Bird and he's on the board. We've seen it before. We took Addison. We didn't think we were going to take Addison. That was a Joey Porter Jr. pick. We're going to go defense. We need a corner. Fuck it. We're picking.
Let's go.
If we trade back, why not? Right?
We can do that too. I think Luther should I mean, we're gonna be spicy, man. We're gonna try something different. I know some Viking fans ain't gonna probably like that, but if you think about it, we don't have a third wide receiver. I ain't trying to hate on Speedy Naylor. Brandon Powell's still on the team, right?
I don't know if he is, but they
I'm not sure if
signed
he's still- we got the bull. Mace, what's his name? What's the bull that we just signed?
The
wide receiver from Randall Moore.
Rondell, from
Moore.
Arizona.
So
yeah. He's the fourth receiver. He's gonna block. He's gonna be our blocking receiver because we lost Sheffield.
We need to let's get
we lost Sheffield too. We're going Luther Burden, just better than Speedy Naylor. Take the top off. Right. We're really gonna mess with people, but there's Philly going D-line again. That's typical, but
oh my god, and that's perfect for them too.
That's typical Philly. They need D-line. They need pass rush. I'm gonna speed it up and let's just roll it into. We can just go turbo. Nobody's gonna freak out at the next, and we'll get to pick 95 here since we're already going.
But that's third round.
Third round. Now I like this here. Could go tackle. I much as I hate Texas, horns down, everybody, horns down. I do love Andrew Mukuba. Ransom's not a corner for like he's a run stuffing corner. We need guys that can cover. Mukuba, one of the best coverage safeties, I think, in the class. Like, I think this would be a home run pick. We've already talked about. People are talking about him potentially being there for us. I love this pick. If you're good with the pick, let's go.
And we got to replace Harrison Smith one of these days.
Got to replace Harrison. And we got to replace Bynum. Like, Bynum's gone. We got to replace
Bynum too. Yeah.
We need safeties. We need guys that can actually cover people on the back end. So let's go.
We don't have the best corners. We should have at least the best safeties or something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So.
And now we're right back on the clock at 97. We're right back on the clock. We could go right tackle here. Are we like... Maybe Brian O'Neill's going to be a cap casualty coming up here if he doesn't want to restructure.
That's being proactive. I could see that happening. Definitely.
Or we could go for like a running back like Devin Neal or Damian Martinez. Like Devin Neal, I was kind of disappointed in his speed in the combine, but my guy is a straight home run hitter.
Field.
Yes.
On the field, how is his speed on the field though?
Home run hitter.
I know the combine is okay. Because I know combine doesn't tell the full story. It just gives you some of the, you know what I mean? But if he plays, and what I like about Neal, correct me if I'm wrong, he's a very good receiving running back.
Yep.
He can
pass catching back.
He can catch the ball. Right. And I like that. I think JJ McCarthy going to be, here you go, Neal. Here you go, Neal. And that's what I like about Aaron Jones. Aaron Jones can catch that dang on ball. You know what I mean?
When Neal had 260 yards receiving last year for Kansas. I think he had like a 70-yard screen that he took to the house against somebody. He is a home run threat. So if we're going to go running back, we've traded back. We got our extra picks. I would go with Devin Neal.
Let's go. We can go.
All right.
We can go tackle. Can he play guard though? Can he play guard? Do you think he can?
See, Cameron Williams is definitely like a right tackle. Like he's straight right tackle. I would say. Now, Charles Grant is an interesting one. I think Charles Grant could move inside. The William and Mary guy over here, 6'4", 300. Raw athleticism. Lower body is a true asset. Could develop into a solid contributor if he adds upper body strength and refines his technique. Now, I don't love that last part there. We've been stuck with a lot of offensive linemen that are lacking in the upper body strength category.
Yeah, push all around.
I don't think we could do that anymore. My life, I'm already losing my hair. I'd have no hair if I got to watch more offensive linemen that are like, oh, they're great athletes. They can pull. They can get out in front. Right. But if they try and put hands on somebody, the guy ain't going nowhere. We're going backwards over here.
I think I'm going where you're leaning towards. I think you're leaning towards Devin, right? I think I'm going to go that route.
I'm leaning a little towards Devin. We could look like tight end, maybe Harold Fannin Jr.
Actually, tight end. I think that's another underrated position because we lost. Who did we just lose? Johnny Munt?
Yeah, we lost Munt. And
TJ Hawkinson, he has to have a bounce back season.
This is make or break year for TJ Hawkinson.
We still have Josh Oliver, right?
Still got our big blocker.
All right, so I think he's a receiving tight end. He can catch. I don't know about blocking, but I know he can catch.
Yeah, they're good enough to keep him in line as a tight end too. It says, Harold Fannin, great, really good receiver. really good games against, let's see if we can look at his grades here. Had a great game against Penn State and another probably great game against A&M. So his two best opponents he played posted monster numbers, was probably their best guy overall. This could be an interesting look at it. Now, we probably sign like 40 tight ends, and we don't even probably sign like backup tight ends. I feel like it's a little early for us to draft a tight end. This feels more like, I don't know. It feels like we'll just draft.
What's up again? Is there another? Oh, Deion Walker. What you think about him?
Yeah, Deion Walker. Interesting. There he is. Yeah. I like Deion Walker. Deion Walker was like first round grade going into this season. Like he was a top 10 pick, and Kentucky had a super weird season. He was kind of, a little underwhelming, I would say, but 6'6", 345. 6'6", 345.
Lee.
Not a great pass rusher, okay pass rusher, not the best run blocker either, but he wins on the interior. He can clog up lanes. I do like Deion. I do like Deion Walker. Dorian Strong here. I don't know a whole lot about Dorian.
Dorian Strong.
Looks like a good zone.
Cornerback. Okay.
Yeah, DB, good corner, 6'1", 185. Lacks some strength in press man coverage and run defense situations near the line of scrimmage, but he's smart, competitive zone scheme quarter with a natural ability to get his hands on passes and cause. That could be another look right there. Zone corner is definitely what we rock with.
That's tough. That's a tough decision, man. The defensive tackle or that corner. I think I might go defense.
Okay.
Either defensive tackle or corner. I think you taught me. I think cornerback is such an underrated thing. I'm not saying it's going to be a shutdown corner, but I think we should probably go corner.
I'm okay with we need DBs, we need depth, we need like we just need bodies. DBs always get hurt. Somebody's always down. I'm good. Let's go Dorian Strong. Cool. I'm sure they're gonna grill us for that one. They'll be like, you should have took the running back. Like Minnesota needs more offense. We need all the offense in the world. See, now we're in like a weird spot here at 133. Quarterbacks, tackle. Baseball Tootin's an interesting running back too. My man can fly out of Virginia Tech. He had
for real?
He had the fastest running back time out of anybody. 4.38, I think he ran at the combine. He is lightning quick, home run hitter. Had 1,100 yards last year. Good. Okay. Virginia Tech, another team, had a weird season. Not a big pass catcher, but he's a really good zone rusher. Like zone rusher / which is kind of what we're running now. We're kind of that zone blocking scheme. So I think this could be a spot to go running back here if we skip.
We could do that. I think that's a good option. I think that's a good potential value pick in the 4th round.
Like I'm not picking quarterback feels like we don't need a backup quarterback here.
Listen, the backup quarterback, like I think they're going to wait until after the draft. I think they're going to get Joe Flacco. I want Joe Flacco because I want that. I know he's 40 years old. But I want that veteran leadership, mentorship. He already been there, done it. He won a Super Bowl, MVP in the Super Bowl, Rookie of the Year, and I think he's going to be a good mentor. And then another thing is, and we're not going to wish injury. We don't think injury is going to happen. But if he happens, say J.J. McCarthy gets shaken up for a play or two, we know that Joe Flacco is not going to be an interception machine. He's going to be on point. So that's where I'm leaning towards.
I think they have
veteran.
They have like a wink, nudge deal with Joe Flacco to wait till after the draft because that's when the compensation picks get factored in. So he doesn't count against the comp picks, and they're in line. If Daniel Jones starts next year for the Colts, they're in line for 3 high-end comp picks. They're going to get the one with Sam Darnold regardless.
Awesome. I love that.
But Joe Flacco is probably the right move at the backup position. So I'm with you now. Like maybe if you want to like sign a guy, draft a guy on the back end, like of a Kyle McCord or like I've heard Quinn Ewers vomit. But if they're there, they're interesting, like a younger potential guy. But I think we just go running back here. I like
I'm down. I'm down. I think that's a good pick because we know that unfortunately Aaron Jones he gets shaken up a lot. So
he does. Now, here's where we can cook at tight end, I think, at 139.
Tight end.
You want to look at
Mitchell Evans
from Notre Dame.
I don't know too much about him.
Not a great receiver, it looks like. 400 yards, but Notre Dame didn't run, they didn't throw the ball at all either. Okay, right. Run blocker. Nothing crazy. You know, we're going to be digging a little deep here on, not Ja'Cory Merritt. That boy can fly too. Benjamin, I don't like a Georgia tight end. This guy can't catch. He's the guy that can't catch.
All right, we ain't doing that then.
He got stone hands over here. Now, can Lunt play interior? That man is not playing guard.
That's what I really want. I want to try to get a guy that can be like
a guard.
Yeah.
Let's see.
There was an opportunity.
Let's see. What did Cornelius play here? My man just played no snaps last year. Played right tackle pretty much all last year.
Okay.
For Oregon, 6'5", 315. Could. Long strides. Not a liability in space.
Ain't nothing wrong with getting, you know what I mean, another tackle, because you never know. Injuries and stuff can happen. But I think that I want to be more specific with the guard. If I'm going to get a tackle, I want him to be able to play guard.
I agree. There's an actual guard here.
Luke
Kandra from Cincinnati. Pretty good grades. 84 pass grade, 74 run block grade. Let's see. Former 3-star prospect, played on both sides of the ball in high school. Love a good athlete.
Okay.
Went to Louisville, but he followed his coach to Cincinnati. One of the more effective all-around guards in the country. 6'4", 230, 323. High-cut athlete, wins with plus athleticism and consistent technique. Lack of bend and shorter arms are a cause concern, but there is enough to work with to think he could develop into a starter in due time. That kind of sold me right there.
I'm so over, like, I can't stand when people be talking about people's arm length, man.
It matters.
I know it matters, but one thing that I'll say, like, it does matter to a certain extent. I know it does matter, but then again, a lot of great players that don't have the longest arms are not the biggest, or some of the Hall of Famers. You know what I mean? It doesn't measure your heart. And if the guy if he's showing on the field that he can play, I'm talking about if he's showing it, then, I mean, the length, I mean, I know NFL and college is two different levels. There's levels to the game, like Meek Mill says. But at the end of the day, if you see it on the field and he's doing his thing, it's like I'm kind of thinking about, like, Ivan Pace. You know, Ivan Pace, he's not, like, the craziest best. But I'm just – who's the all-time great player that they said he's on the Purple People Eaters? And they said he was too small. Which one was it? I don't know if it was Page. Who was it? It was one of the all-time great – one of the Purple People Eaters, and they said he was too small. And I don't know if he was defensive tackle or defensive end, but, you know, I don't know.
You've heard about the arms, like arms gate with Will Campbell, right? Have you heard this story about the LSU tackle over there? His arms are like 1.5 inches longer than they are in his pro day. And everyone's like, what is going on? How did his arms grow 1.5 inches from his from the combine to his pro day? What happened? Like, how does the NFL measure in arms? Because we've had a couple of guys whose arms have magically gotten longer at their pro day. Now, I know pro days are pro days for a reason, but for the tape measurer to move that much, guys, on your arm strength, it mattered. But, like, it does matter. Like, at this part of the draft, I do not think it matters at all.
Developing, and we'll see what happens, you know.
Top end of the draft kind of matters. Definitely,
right.
Definitely kind of matters at the top end of the draft. But like you said, if they put on good tape, if they're good against good pass rushers, like Will Campbell's the big one, obviously with the arms, but he was in the SEC, and he was really good against SEC pass rushes, which we see. What is there, 4 or 5 SEC pass rushers in the first 2 rounds of this draft that he had a really good performances against. So I'm totally with you, but you kind of sold me on the guard, Luke over here.
I kind of want to just go guard just to have somebody and just see what happens, man.
Yeah, depth, like Fries was injured last year. Ryan Kelly gets banged up.
Yeah.
And we need line depth. Like, I heard they might move Walter Rouse, the tackle we drafted last year.
How do you feel about that? Do you like that?
I don't trust us ever with offensive linemen in this like it's been bad for a while, but this regime, our offensive line scouting's been atrocious. Like, obviously the Ed Ingram pick was bad. The Bradbury pick was awful. Now, we did hit with Darrisaw O'Neal, so our tackle evaluation is pretty good. You know, they're running Blake Brandel out there. Like, he was fine. If he's your 4th best offensive lineman, that's more than serviceable.
Right. Blake, I like that Blake Brandel. How do you feel about Dalton Reisner? Did you like now?
He was bad last year. He was much worse than he was 2 years ago. And he can't run block, and his pass blocking kind of fell apart down the stretch too. So
I'm just thinking because like not trying to cut you off, but like the first round we drafted Bradbury. That's crazy. And then the second round we drafted Ed Ingram. So we have to maybe we can hit on some of these late rounds when it comes to the offensive line. You know what I mean? Hopefully,
we hope now.
For real.
On the interior, at least. Now we crushed it with Darrisaw. We crushed it with O'Neal. Trading back to get Darrisaw when Slater didn't fall, and then just taking up O'Neal in the second round. Let's go defense. I kind of like defensive line here.
Defensive line, okay.
Tonka is a guy that I actually do really like. Good pass rusher in the interior. From here, this whole the South Carolina Gamecocks were the spiciest team that did not get into the playoffs and probably should have. Their defense was they got after everybody. So a guy like that, especially we love our defensive linemen late in drafts. We still got, a guy like Bo Richter who's hanging around. We got Levi Drake Rodriguez. I'm leaning Tonka here. If you see anybody else, maybe that's kind of speaking to you in the quarter.
To be honest with you, I'm gonna go that route with Tonka. I just like saying the name. Tonka. I don't know what it is about it. Tonka for a sack. Tonka skull, baby. Tonka.
Bum Titans fan, get the Tonka truck. We're backing up the Tonka truck rolling in there.
For real, I like the.
Yeah, names are important, right? Names are important at this part of the draft. You need to have a good name in this part of the draft. Now, are we done? I think we're done.
I think so, yeah.
I think that wrapped it up. Let's see how we did. Let's see how PFF's. All right. Gave us an A on the Luther Burden pick. A- B, like the Tootin pick, doesn't like the Luke Kandra pick, they don't value interior offensive linemen. They're killing us for this. Killing us, guys.
Honestly, I like this draft, man. I really like this draft. I mean, I like it. I think a lot of Viking fans ain't gonna like the first pick though. I'm gonna keep it real.
That's true.
But we thinking ahead though, like because you don't know what's up with Addison.
Maybe they trade him to Buffalo. There's a lot of Buffalo Addison rumors that are percolating out there. Maybe they trade a first round pick next year for Addison and they draft Luther Burden. We've done it before. Cool. We traded Diggs. It worked out really well.
We got Jefferson. So we can do that. I wouldn't be mad. I wouldn't be mad at all if we mess around and did that.
I love Makuba in the third round. If Makuba's on the board,
that's your guy.
That's my guy. If we can't get Starks or Imawari, I think that's a really good spot. I love Malachi Starks is on the board. That's the pick. That's the card. I'm running that card. I'm running that card in because he can tackle and cover people.
So is Starks better than the other guy, Nick?
Imawari, the guy from South Carolina. Yeah, I think Starks is a better true safety. Imawari reminds me a lot of kind of Kyle Hamilton, but he would play he would be the Josh Metellus in the defense. He would be like, we're going to run him around. He's 6'3". He's super athletic, had the best broad jump, best high jump, super fast 40. Hey. So they would you would just walk him up on the line of scrimmage and be like, is he blitzing? Is he going to go cover the running back in the flat? Is he picking up a tight end? Is he sitting here in the short zone? He would be the Josh Metellus in the defense. Now, if they're starting to move off of Josh Metellus, it'd be and we love this freak athlete. I could definitely see us doing something like that. Starks is going to be Cam Bynum. He's going to replace the back end, lock it down, go cover people, lay some hits. Wow. Maybe a little bit more like prime Harry, where Harry could go cover people. Because Harry can't. God bless Harry. He can't cover anybody anymore these days. I love him, but
I like him. He's one of my favorite players in Minnesota Viking history. But let me just say this: all right, so what's the chances of Starks dropping to 24? And if he happens to drop at 24, are you just picking, or you're not even thinking about that?
I'm not even thinking about it if Starks is on the board. Okay. I'm comfortable. I'm super comfortable, especially best available at 24. We don't have any glaring needs.
Right.
And he's a guy that doesn't have to start right away, could start right away, doesn't have to start right away. Now, are we going to be a little gun shy with Georgia safeties because of how bad we got burned by Lewis Cine?
Oh.
Potentially, but we hope the scouting department is a lot better now. Kwesi maybe figuring out how the NFL GM life works, and when a consensus number one player at a position is on the board, you in a position of need, you just draft that player. You don't trade back and get cute. You don't trade back in the division and get cute.
That's a hurt piece right there. But yeah, I agree with you. Like safety, I would love to go safety either, but like my guy, Kenneth Grant, I don't think he's dropping that far. I don't think he's dropping that far.
Yeah, Kenneth Grant feels like it looked like he was gonna drop earlier.
Yeah, not anymore.
It feels like somebody like Cincinnati. Who took Kenneth Grant this draft? Seattle. I think Seattle might go edge though.
Yeah, Seattle, yeah.
Like, but this like 17, 18, maybe even even Tampa at 19. That's gonna be where we're gonna see like edge and defense, like Grant and the edge guys. Maybe somebody goes Walter Nolan. Like, I don't think Seattle. Like, I think LA would go Loveland. Honestly, the Chargers, they would go tight. Harbaugh's gonna take his boy Loveland there.
If Walter Nolan is there, are you picking him?
That's a tough one for me. Doesn't have a ton of production. Freak athlete, really good run stop.
Yeah.
Really good run stuffer. Has the potential to be a really good pass rusher. Takes some plays off. Seen him take a lot of plays off at A&M. Just doesn't have the impact sometimes. But if he's a rotational guy and he's only getting 25, 30 snaps a game and he's fresh, maybe he can just go out, because I've seen him just whoop some of the best offensive linemen in the SEC. I think.
Go ahead. In my honest opinion, Brian Flores, I don't think he's going to play that. Like, I just have a feeling he wanted to, like, he's like when Mike Tomlin was our defensive coordinator, he didn't play that. Like, you better give you 100% every game, or you going. I don't care if you was drafted in the first round, you going to be on the dang on sideline. You know what I mean? I think Brian Flores has that type of.
He's a hard ass.
Yeah,
he is the hard ass to KOC's lovey dovey.
Yeah.
He's the bad. Brian Flores is definitely the bad cop on the team, which I like for the defense. Sometimes you just need a mean, nasty son of a bitch. Like that. Micah Parsons fell. Micah Parsons was undersized. People didn't know what to do with Micah Parsons. He had a bullying problem where he had to transfer like 3 high schools because he was just like mean. I go, if you're getting paid to go kill the quarterback, sometimes I just want an asshole. I just want somebody who's a dick. They don't all have to be.
Need is a linebacker. What's your opinion on linebacker? Middle linebacker, like the captain of the. I mean, I love Blake Cashman.
It's Cashman. I mean, like
Cashman, but he's a little injury prone too, bro. And that hurt us. That hurt us when he got hurt. The games that we lost, I believe, when he wasn't playing, right?
It was the 2 games there we lost, but we lost him on the back end. I think the problem is Ivan Pace is his backup, and Ivan Pace is so undersized.
He's small.
He can't like when we bring those, because we had to blitz so much. If we have to blitz Ivan Pace, or like he just gets picked up by like a guard, like just shoves him over. Like how many times we see Pace like, oh, Pace got through the line, and a guy just shoved him over and he's on the ground. It's like
he's like
yeah. And the quarterback can just like slide out of the way and everything's busted for that. Yeah. But we don't really use I think they like safeties more than linebackers in this team.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Safeties, and it's 3-4.
Whatever. The multiple D. If we're picking up linebacker, like the linebackers are like, the Van Ginkel, Dallas Turner types that they want. They want those kind of linebackers.
And I hope Dallas Turner gets more opportunity. And shines a little bit more, because I'm gonna keep it real. I'm not hating on Dallas Turner. I like the pick, but I was a Jared Verse guy. I was a Jared Verse guy, and since we didn't go that route, and I seen what Jared Verse did in his rookie season. I'm not saying that Jared Verse is definitely gonna be better than Dallas Turner. Don't get into it. I don't want nobody to be like, you don't like that. I'm not saying that, but what I'm saying is Jared Verse in his rookie season, he was dominant, man. With the Rams. And then what's the defensive tackle on the Rams?
Braden Fisk, the guy from Florida State.
Yeah. I was drafted him in my mock drafts a lot of. I don't know what round he was drafted in, but
he went in the second. He went in the second round. Yeah. So we didn't have that pick because we moved up for that extra first. See, versus season's a little, because he had a great finish to the season. He wasn't all that early in the year. He came on strong late. And again, he's another guy who, maybe fits the defense, a little bit older. Dallas Turner is only like 22 years old. He's super young. Jared Verse is 25. So there's
25?
Jared Verse turned 25, I believe. So he was like 3 years older than Turner. when they came. So it's like that's the problem when you're looking at guys like, because guys are staying in college now longer. They're getting paid.
Football.
They're football. They're getting paid now. The draft stock can bump. So age is like all over the place with these guys. Like, look at Jaden Daniels. Jaden Daniels is 24. JJ McCarthy is turning 22. Like,
but I don't really mind that because Jaden Daniels is a superstar right now.
Yeah, but the age, how about Bo Nix? Bo Nix at 21 was undraftable. He was not getting drafted by an NFL team at 21 after his 3 years in Auburn. Like, he wasn't getting drafted, and then spent 2 years at Oregon and became a first round pick. So that's how you look at it. Like, that quarterback age is kind of a big factor. But all right, I think we did okay on that one. Wasn't the best, but let's hop into another one. We're going to play this one straight, though. We can just kind of fly through this first round. I don't, what everybody else does is what everybody else does.
Yeah, we ain't worried about what they do.
Okay, on the clock at 24. No trading. Who called? Nobody wants to trade with us. Nobody wants this. And the board is looking kind of similar to what it was last time around, but I think we have some picks here. I like a guy like Walter.
It's still on that page. Did you refresh it?
Yeah.
It's still on the.
Oh, there we go. That's why, because I had the wrong window open. There we go. That'll do it.
Okay.
There we go. I had the other window open. So 7 rounds. Let's run it. Oh, there you go. Maybe we'll get a better board this time.
I want to mock. All right.
Oh, there we go. We got a better board.
Hey, listen. Just don't even hesitate. Pick them, brother.
Found it, Malachi. Malachi Starks, A+ pick. If we get Malachi Starks in the first round, I'm excited. But this is if we don't trade, and I do think it's 50-50. Ooh, now here you go. Here's kind of your lane here.
I like Tate Ratledge automatically for me. I ain't gonna say
no, let's go right here. Let's pull them up, guys. I think we've pulled them up a lot on the channel. Tate Ratledge.
Is he good or bad? What's wrong with him?
Just a football player here.
Okay. I was just making sure. I thought I was. Hold on.
No, hold on. Oh no, you can't. We can't see it over here. Let's see if I can. Let me share.
This draft is amazing. If this is what happens, I'm happy automatically.
Let's see. Let's share right here. Let's share the Tate Ratledge. Look at this man. This is a football player right here. Look at Tate Ratledge, guys. Look at this. He's got the mullet. This is a mean, gritty.
Let's go.
Look at this. He's got the headband, got the stash. He wears 69. Wears 69 on the offensive line. This isn't even a hesitation, guys.
We have to draft him. We have to draft him. Let's go.
If Tate Ratledge on the board, I love Tate Ratledge, was the leader of this Georgia team. They were significantly worse. Tate Ratledge was out for a chunk of there where Georgia was really struggling. He came back when they looked better, won the SEC championship game. Good, solid run blocker, decent pass blocker. Was banged up. Right guard, perfect, fits in there.
What's his height?
His height, Tate Ratledge is 6'6", 320.
Gosh, Lee.
This is a big, bad mother right there. Now, PFF's going to hate us because they hate interior linemen. Tate Ratledge is being a hell of a pick at 97.
I don't care what they say.
We're crushing it right now. This is like the best draft board. Ooh. I think
Who's your guy?
We go, I don't know. I like
Brashard Smith
or two. Both these running backs are awesome. Both these guys are fast. Both these guys were. Let's talk a little bit about Brashard Smith. Had a monster year. SMU is kind of the team that came out of nowhere. Another zone running grade. 85.5 zone rusher. 87 true rushing. 3.3 yards after contact. You know us after contact. Elusive, but just super solid, super consistent, and a really good pass catcher. 51 receptions, 337 yards, 1,300 yards rushing. Did have a lot of tread on the tires, but if you look at his prior years, 5 carries, 9 carries his first 2 years at SMU. So he don't have that many miles on the tires.
So when he gets the opportunity, he shines. That's pretty much what that's telling us, y'all.
Crushed it this year at SMU. I'm liking it. I don't think anything else on this board screams to me.
Do you like him over your other guy, though?
I think I would like, it's a toss-up there, but we went Tootin in the first one. I wouldn't mind going, a little bit different in the second one. Let's go Brashard Smith. Let's go running back. We only got 5 picks, but you know what? Could be the future starting running back for the Minnesota Vikings right here for a guy who, only played 3 years, doesn't have a lot of miles on the tread, and is going to be a rotational back right there. But 187 here. Let's look at, there's a high tight end, and we have my guy Tonka Truck waiting if we need, but let's look at Jackson Hawes here. Run blocker. Oh, boy. 6'5", 260. Doesn't provide much of the receiving game, but is a good tight end 3 for an NFL team to use in a heavy offensive package. Now, at 6'4", 240, more like 6'5", 260, as a blocker at heart, he has a great touch to blocking, can anticipate the pass rush. His feet are married with his hands to mirror defenders, strong legs, and push for leg drive. Plenty of experience blocking inline and as a puller lead blocking. I don't know, man. I
like the sound of. I'm liking because I want to be one of those mean teams. I want to be a team that's like, yo, I want defensive lines to be like, I don't want to go against the Vikings defensive. Their offensive line. And I don't want to go against the offense.
We ran a lot of double tight end sets too last year, especially when Hawkinson was out. We ran a lot of Munt Oliver sets out there, and it's like. That fits us. Like, that kind of screams, and we can work on the receiving. Right. Like, Johnny Munt wasn't a receiving tight end, guys. And Johnny Munt is like, sometimes the guy's just wide open. If you're good enough and you just catch the ball when you're wide open, we can do damage. So,
yeah. What about Jonah for center?
Jonah Moynihan. Okay. Jonah Moynihan, center out of USC. Some people have him as the best center. Some people don't. It's a weak center. It's a weak center class. Big boy, 6'5", 310. Raw athleticism to succeed as his own center if he can get stronger. Lack of length is his biggest deterrent to succeed, and the role will likely prevent him from playing as a swing at other positions. So he's like truly a center, big athletic guy. USC, we know, they throw the ball a lot, but wasn't the best pass blocker. Solid run game, decent zone game guy. He would definitely be their backup if he's center. Played left tackle in 2023, which is kind of crazy. That shows you what USC was doing over there. But he feels like a center. Now, the question is, do we like our backup center? What's our backup center situation?
Who is our backup center?
That's
I don't even know.
We have somebody. I should have had this up. Let me pull up the Vikings.
Because I'm just thinking of, as much as I like Ryan Kelly, I'm not sure how old he is.
He's a little bit older. I think he's like 30-ish.
He's not too old.
He's like a little bit for a guy who's maybe a little banged up.
Yeah.
Potentially.
I'm just thinking ahead, you know what I mean? Just in case, you know what I mean? We got the next center.
Yeah, that's always the big one. What's the next center? Let me look at positions here. Ryan Kelly is currently the only center on the roster. Now, this guy Henry Bird, Juergens, like these are guards that might, they could be listed at guard and they're playing center. Obviously, we have Fries and Blake Brandel. Trevor Reed. Oh, what is this? What is Trevor Reed over here? Offensive lineman, 6'5", 307. CFL guy. So we could potentially go center here to fix up that interior. But we did go guard. I don't love going center here after going Tate Ratledge.
Okay, because we just went. Okay. You kind of talked me into the tight end, but I don't know what it is about Tonka.
I'm never gonna say no to a Tonka. If we're screaming Tonka and we need defensive line depth, let's go Tonka. Let's go defensive line depth, man. If it's speaking to you,
I think Tonka is the best route for me. That's how I'm looking at it overall.
I think that's a well-rounded draft, and you can sign we can sign a tight end. We can grab a guy later. We're good. God bless us. Kwesi is great as undrafted free agents. We've had
undrafted free agents.
5 guys make the team, impact players on the team. Top 22% of Vikings drafts right here. They gave us an A. We crushed it in our 4-pick draft.
I like that. I like it. This is. I like this draft better. I think this is a better overall.
I like it too.
Right here.
We got a couple of Bulldogs. Got a fast back that can catch the ball. Interior D line. This feels good. This feels good.
I like this. plus what we did in the off season so far, and the off season ain't completely over. You know what I mean? So
it's not true.
You know
We still got
so,
$17 million in cap space.
Yeah, so there's some other moves that's going to happen that we don't have. Well, we know we're going to get a backup quarterback, but
yeah.
So we're not done yet. There's some other signings.
Not done yet. We could definitely sign. Let's see the chat. Zay likes Makuba. I like it. Das Bro said he made Tate before. You like Tate? Is Tate a dog? He's a cool looking guy, that's for sure. DBL Cheese, I randomly found some Vikings friends. Yes, welcome, DBL Cheese. Check out Mike's channel. It's a pinned comment. Mike Sports 5. Honest question, who the fuck cares? They're going to do what they want. This is a complete waste of time. Come on, man. It's fun. It's about the fun, Cheese. It's about the fun of the mock.
Yeah, you got to open your mind. You never know. They might mess around and be like, yo, that guy, Mike Sports Vibes and that guy Pete, they on to something. You know what I'm saying? They on to something. We might have to replicate what they got going on. They might come across this video and be like, yo, we might need to hire them, or we're going to have to copy what they got going on. If we can do that, this is what we got to do.
Hey, if they're having to go to us maybe for that much draft input, I'd be a little bit worried, but it's fun, guys. Mock drafts are fun. It's fun to do mock drafts. If you're not a football guy or gal, but football guy, you just don't understand it. Like, mock drafts are fun. Fantasy drafts are fun. I don't know about you, but like when I played Madden as a kid, I would do like franchises, like just mock, like free draft. Like we're starting fresh and we're doing a fantasy draft for everybody. Restarting drafting is fun, guys.
Drafting is one of the and that's why the NFL is like the number one sport, like because in America at least, because it's just like this whole off season, like was the most amazing off season. Even the moves that are not Viking moves, like the Seahawks signing Sam Darnold, what's the bull, Geno Smith going to the Las Vegas Raiders, and multiple other big time moves. Russell Wilson signing with the Giants, and what's the wide receiver from the
and DK going to Pittsburgh.
Yeah, DK goes to Pitt, and that's why Pittsburgh need to get their dang on quarterback. True. They got to get a quarterback. I don't know what they doing. They need to figure something out. Pay Aaron Rodgers whatever he wants and go get him. You know what I mean? And then draft Sanders.
That is accurate. That is totally
spot. Why you got this wide receiver and you don't got no quarterback? Who is on their? I don't even know the Steelers roster, like their quarterbacks.
I think it's Mason Rudolph again. They re-signed Mason Rudolph. So go Mason Rudolph. Probably Aaron Rodgers.
Right.
It's looking bleak in Pittsburgh, but. Let's see. Look at past history. There's so many undrafted tight ends become Hall of Famers. True. There's a lot of undrafted guys that become Hall of Famers in general, guys. Over half the league is undrafted players filling out these rosters. So, undrafted. I'm about to look. Undrafted.
I'm about to look it up.
He's looking it up.
I'm about to look it up for one of the purple people eaters wasn't drafted.
I know John Randall. John Randall wasn't drafted. I know that, and he was.
Oh, was it John Randall?
It was John Randall. He was not drafted out of West Texas A&M, and he has the most sacks all time from a defensive tackle.
Okay.
Now, Aaron Donald probably would have broken that record if he didn't retire kind of early at the top of his game, but alas, don't worry, guys. But yeah, I'm loving what we did with the mock drafts tonight. But. Over an hour here, guys. Probably going to wrap this up. So, if you guys haven't already, drop a quick like on the stream. Subscribe to the channel. We got daily sports content. Mike, shout out your channel. Tell the people where they can find you, and we'll sign off.
Mike Sports Vibes. That's my Viking content I covered. The Minnesota Vikings on that channel, and you can catch me on Instagram, on Twitter or X. And I have another YouTube channel, Mike Sports Vibes Balling, which I talk about the Sixers and the Phillies. So I'm a hybrid sports fan. You know what I mean? I'm from Pennsylvania, but my football team is Vikings. But I had to, at first, Mike Sports Vibes was originally just a hybrid sports channel where I had Sixers, Vikings, and Phillies. But I said, I'm the only I'm like, it's rare for that to happen. There's not, if you're a Viking fan,
very niche.
You're not a Sixer fan. You're not a Sixer fan. If you're a Phillies fan, you're not a Vikings fan. So it's like, I just kind of separated the channel and made a whole nother channel called Mike Sports Vibes Ballin, BALLING. And that's I cover the Sixers and the Phillies. And yeah, man, that's where you can find me. Holla at me.
All right, I got his channel pinned, Mike Sports Vibes, for this Vikings content. Appreciate you stopping by, big dog. A lot of fun. Expect to have you back. I'm sure we'll do more of these stuff.
Yeah,
the draft is soon. We are 21 days away, 20 days away from the draft. We are in full countdown for the draft season. So appreciate everybody stopping by tonight. Probably dropping a video tomorrow. I don't know. I'll figure it out. We'll be live though again Saturday night for the Final Four. Maybe I'll be there, guys. I don't know. It's close. Maybe I'll make the trip. Probably not. But we'll be live for the Final Four on Saturday night, as well as the National Championship on Monday night. So get your hoops action in if you need. Appreciate everybody stopping by. Again, like, subscribe.